Hey y'all, it's me, Dr. Lynn Daniel, PhD, EDS. I am the self-care evangelist here on social media. And on my socials, I encourage people to prioritize their personal and professional self-care because I am doing that through the Word of God, through my relationship with Jesus Christ, through learning the Word. And I am finding so much value, power, and significance in this. And so, hey, I'm just sharing it with you all and inviting you all in to learn how to do this for yourselves. So if you haven't checked out my LinkedIn or, well, my Facebook is family and close friends, so you wouldn't see that. But on LinkedIn yesterday, I posted a LinkedIn article about why I prioritize talking about self-care over my professionalism, like over literacy leadership, over my business as an education consultant. You know, I prioritize self-care, and I tell you why in that article. So go back, check out my LinkedIn and read that article. And then I turned that article, I submitted it to Notebook LM, this new generative, it's a large language generative AI tool by Google. And I uploaded that article into Notebook LM, and it turned that article into a podcast. So you can check that out as well on LinkedIn. Also, for if you're family and friends and you're connected to me on Facebook, you can listen to it there. And if you happen to be in my doctoral aftercare and healing group, you can check it out there as well. So you all, today I want to come up and talk to you all about 100. I have a list of 100 reasons to embrace wisdom and knowledge in solitude. I hope this is this mic working? It said it was. It needs to charge. But yeah, so let's hope it is working. Okay, so you all, I will say that the majority of my life has been one of solitude. When I was young, it was one of solitude because of my childhood illnesses. I needed to rest and keep myself unbothered so that I would be well. And so I had to learn how to sit on the porch and watch the other kids play. Right. And then, kids would come and sit and chat with me, and we would play jacks or those activities that were low energy or whatever, right? But in color, in the coloring book, or tic-tac-toe or hangman, different stuff like that. But kids are kids. They want to get up and go run and ride bikes. And then I think my parents got us bikes, and I had a bicycle. I think my sister and I shared it, possibly. I can't remember all the details, but I remember having a blue bicycle, and I would ride that bicycle. So there were times when I did get to do physical activity, and I enjoy riding that bicycle. But I could never jump double dutch because I just couldn't get the rhythm of it. I couldn't turn the rope because I would clap. I couldn't get the rhythm of it. And so yeah. So I learned solitude young. And solitude, that's when you are quiet and you are still. And the Bible says, and I have it right here from Psalms 46:10 on my wall, be still and know that I am God. In solitude, you get to hear the nuggets of wisdom. You get to examine life as it goes on around you. You get to observe the relationships and the dramas and the good celebrations and all the different things, and you start learning from what you see, right? And so I learned wisdom and knowledge and curiosity young. But then, of course, you grew up and you hit your head against life. But okay, you all, here are 100 reasons to embrace wisdom and knowledge in solitude. I don't know if I can get through all of them, but I'm going to get through some. So, number one, discover your true self without external influences. hmm I can remember as an adolescent, when the boys start noticing the girls, your body is developing, you're getting beautiful, and the boys' hormones are flying high, and you know things happen. Well, you have to have some wisdom to tell you, that inner voice will tell you how far to go and how far not to go, right? You really have to learn, because your parents, when you're a young person, my parents, my mom especially, would tell us girls, my sisters and I, about the roaming hands. Don't let the roaming hands get you, and all of these things. And your parents tell you so many rules and expectations, but then when children get with their friends, that's when their true character is tested. And so, in solitude, young people, young adults, even us older folks, we get to learn about ourselves without the influence of somebody telling us what the rules are. You go to church and you hear the rules, you hear it preached to you, and then you get home in real life scenarios and you don't know how to apply what you heard, right? I've been in those situations, but I will say that the solitude has helped me to get stronger in sticking to my principles. Okay. Number two, gain clarity on personal values and goals. So you can then begin making a list of what's important to you. What do you value in life for yourself? What kind of life do you want to build? You know, what career do you want? Where do you want to live? What part of the world? What kind of people do you want in your everyday circle of influence? What kind of foods do you want to be able to eat and afford in these times when we still have choice about that? You know? And then what goals do you have? Those of you who are young and you're in high school and you're going to high school to be popular and to socialize, you're being robbed. You're being robbed. When you're in high school, you are supposed to take advantage as much as possible, increase your awareness of the programs and the trainings and all the different knowledge and systems available to you. Talk to your teachers and counselors or people who will help you get involved and get that free education. So when you leave high school, you can hit the ground running with earning money or moving into the career that you think you want, and making progress and keeping pace with some of the uh, young people coming out of elite schools or schools where they already know what they should be engaged and involved in and participating in when they're in high school. Those of you who are in high school and your primary goal is to have a mate or a bunch of friends, popularity, you are missing out. You're being robbed. Okay, so gain clarity on your personal values and goals is the second thing you can do to embrace wisdom and knowledge and solitude. Let's look at number three. Strengthen your emotional resilience. So when people say they don't like you, when people lie on you, when people make up rumors about you because they don't know you well, or you've changed since they have known you, that you have matured or developed in some kind of way that is different from when they knew you. And then some people don't handle that well, and they will lie on you, make up lies and stories about you, or tell all the little silly, stupid errors you made when you were young and growing up, right? So, strengthen your emotional resilience so you're able to bounce back, so you're able to navigate those types of challenges, those emotional challenges that come up in your life. And you can read books on self-development, social emotional development, social emotional learning. You can read books, listen to podcasts about self-development, goal setting, resilience, all of that, building grit. These are things that can help you strengthen yourself so you're not triggered and going off on people, wasting and expending energy on people who are not important to where you're going. Okay. Number 4, build self reliance and independence. This is something I had to learn because when I was young and, you know, even as a teenager, even as a young adult, getting married while I'm in college, you know, um, being poor pretty much as a young married couple starting a family right away, and I'm still in college and not having our basic needs met on the Maslow hierarchy of needs. I mean, we had a roof over our head. We had we eventually got reliable transportation, but we still didn't have a lot of food in the house, and we surely didn't have a lot of money extras for like going to the store and shopping, buying clothes and things like that. And so I was still relying heavily on parents, relatives, friends. There was a point when I think back on my college years. What was I in? I was second year, third year, second year maybe. And my mom would come and pick me up in the morning before work to take me to the college. And it would be early. My mom would leave, I guess, around 6 in the morning. And she didn't have to be at work until maybe 7:30 or 8. But she would leave at 6. She would pick up a coworker. She would come get me. I think there may have been times when she dropped my little sister off at school, maybe. But my mom would come to get me, and I did not live nearby them. I lived maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes away. But she didn't have to do that. I could have just got on the bus, on the public transportation, right? And then eventually my late husband and I were able to get me a little bitty car that lasted about a year and a half, and I putted around in that. But you learn self-resilience because it builds your character. It pushes you to problem solve. It it forces you to to grow up an adult, and to begin applying like systems in your life, planning and scheduling activities and planning menus and all the things that adults do that young people don't even think of because their parents are doing it so well. So, yeah, build self reliance because it helps you to be independent and not dependent on everyone. Identify limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. Limiting beliefs, anything anybody has enforced upon you. Like for me, even though I had illness as a child and that it was chronic and, I had to deal with it, I had big dreams and goals, and I don't even know where they came from. I think my dad, he was a big thinker type of a person, just very intellectual, you know, and I must have got it from him. But my mom had her qualities too. She has qualities of her that I'm sure, like her grit and resilience and determination, right? And then my grandparents, my grandpa being a World War II veteran and a Korean War veteran, and my grandmother running a household and taking care of her 7 little ones. My mom was grown and married, plus us grandchildren, 4 of us, 3 of us, 4 when my baby sister came along. I had good examples. So I pull from those examples to break the limiting belief off of me. Like, yeah, you may have a chronic illness, but you don't have to just sit down and be sad about it. You can still dream and do things. And so replace those limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. Another thing I think that helped me was I was living through the 1970s, growing up as a young adolescent when all kinds of laws were being changed. All opportunities were open up for Blacks and for women. Like in my community, we had so many programs, leadership programs, working programs for adolescents, and I participated in those programs. And then we had youth programs where we learned leadership, and we had little meetings once a month, and we would sit on these committees, and the adults would make the decisions, but they would listen to our input. And so all of these opportunities helped me to dismantle limiting beliefs around the fact that I was a young person with a chronic illness, that I was a Black person in the United States, that I'm a female, right? I had examples to help me break out of that. So you do too. Identify limiting beliefs and replace them with empowering ones. All right, that's today's video. I only got through 5, you all. I am going to publish this on LinkedIn, and then I will also turn it into a podcast. If I'm able to share the podcast here on YouTube, convert it to a video, I will. I haven't figured that out yet. I don't have the tools, the movie maker tool that I used to use. Man, it's changed so much to where I don't even know how. I'm going to have to get a different movie making tool. So if you want to hear the podcast for this, check me out on LinkedIn. And also, if you want to read the article that I am going to write from this list of 100 reasons to embrace wisdom and knowledge in solitude, check me out over there. All right, y'all. Thanks for being here. Be blessed. Bye.